All right, so we back with the remainder of Yeshaya cleansing the temple from sacrifices. All right, because that's what really actually truly happened. He actually cleansed the temple from sacrifices. And I believe that has something to do with the Essene doctrine, or reason why they couldn't go into the temple anymore and do sacrifices according to Josephus. Um, so now they was actually banned from the temple. Matter of fact, let me read it real quick. Let me try to pull this up real quick. This is Josephus' Antiquity of the Jews, Book 18, Chapter 1, Paragraph 5. The doctrine of the Essenes is this: that all things are best ascribed to God. They teach the immortality of souls and esteem that those of righteousness are to be earnestly striven for. And when they send what they have dedicated to God into the temple, they do not offer sacrifices because they have a more lustratious of their own, on which account they are excluded from the common court of the temple. All right. So because they feel like they have a more pure lustratious offering to the Most High, which is their prayers and baptism, if they feel like that, because of that doctrine, they was excluded from the common court of the temple. All right. Now you got Yeshaya, or Jesus, what the world knows as Jesus, going into the temple and cleansing it. And not only that, in different accounts of the Greco-Roman accounts of this, you have one account saying, oh, it's because of his doctrine. One account saying because he's healing people in there. One account saying this, but all of it saying that it's based off because of the money changers. But then you got John, is letting John and that is more to it. Is he let the oxen out, he let the sheep out, he let the doves out, and he told them, stop with this right here, you making my father's house. He told the people that's selling doves, you making my father's house a merchandise. So is actually more to it. And what is this doctrine that he's teaching in the temple? He's teaching the same thing that the Essenes was teaching. All right. And because of that, these people was excluded from certain parts of the temple. All right. So now let's check out, because the Messiah is quoting Jeremiah. He's quoting Jeremiah. So let's read what he's quoting. In this chapter, in chapter 7 of Jeremiah, is talking about the evilness of the land. All right. And Jeremiah, he's going to go into the origin of it. So now let's start at verse. Can you start at verse 8 for me?
Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 8. Behold, ye trust in lying words that cannot profit.
That cannot profit. The lying words of these priests, of these scribes, the false pen of these priests, these scribes, the false pen of these scribes. You trust in lying words. They cannot profit. Keep going out.
Verse 9. Will ye still murder and commit adultery and swear falsely and burn incense unto Baal and walk after other gods whom ye know not, and come and stand before me in this house, which is called by my name, and say, we are delivered to do all these abominations? Is this house, which is called by my name, become a den of robbers in your eyes? Behold, even I have seen it, saith the Most High.
On the horn right there. So he said, even I had seen it, said the Most High. They become a den of robbers. Now, the Hebrew word that the Greek word thieves was using is not fully giving you the full understanding. This Hebrew word of robbers is per etz, something like that, per etz, and it's violent. That is a tyrant, a destroyer, a ravenous robber. So it's dealing with something destroying. What is they destroying? They're destroying the temple by these sacrifices. They're destroying animals. They're ravenous with these, and they're violent with these, and they're violent in the temple. The temple become a violent place, become a slaughterhouse. That's what it become a slaughterhouse. All right. So it's not just a den of thieves. That's what they minuted down to. It's actually a den of slaughterhouse, a den of violence, okay? A den of violent, ravenous robbers. That's what it's about. It's a den of slaughterhouse. So we keep going, keep going. Let's go back to verse 11.
And this house, which is called by my name, become a den of robbers in your eyes. Behold, even I have seen it, saith the Most High. But go ye now unto my place, which was in Shiloh, where I set my name at the first, and see what I did to it for the wickedness of my people Israel. And now, because ye have done all these works, saith the Most High, and I spake unto you, rising up early and speaking, but ye heard not, and I called you, but ye answered not. Therefore will I do unto this place which is called by my name, wherein ye trust, and unto the place which I gave to you and to your fathers, as I have done to Shiloh. And I will cast you out of my sight, as I have cast out all your brethren, even the whole seed of Ephraim. Therefore, pray not thou for this people, neither lift up cry nor prayer for them, neither make intercession to me, for I will not hear thee. Seest thou not what they do in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem? The children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead their dough to make cakes to the queen of heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto other gods, that they may provoke me to anger.
So they doing all this. Okay, they doing all this. You got they giving queen cakes to the queen of heaven. They doing sacrifice, because you can do a dough sacrifice. They doing that type of sacrifice. They doing drink offering sacrifices. They doing these sacrifices to these other gods. And also on top of that, it's something else that Jeremiah is about to go into. So you got these people giving homages to other gods, and then you got these people saying that God is accepting their sacrifices with animals also. And then you got all this going on. You got all this going on, and you think that the Most High really wants sacrifices. He like, what's the difference between what y'all doing with the Queen Mother in heaven and with these other guys? And then y'all come into the house of me, and then y'all send the animals to me. Y'all sacrificing animals to me. But y'all out here worshiping other gods also. That don't make me special. That don't make me special. I desire no sacrifices. That what he mostly desire. He desire mercy. He don't desire sacrifices. All right, now keep going, bro. Because Jeremiah gonna talk about more, because where does this sacrificing thing come from? Where does the origin of this come from? Keep going on.
Verse 19, do they provoke me to anger, saith the Most High? Do they not provoke themselves to the confusion of their own faces? Therefore, thus saith the Most High Power, behold, my anger and my fury shall be poured out upon this people, upon man, and upon beasts, and upon the trees of the field, and upon the fruit of the ground, and it shall burn, and shall not be quenched. Thus saith the Most High of hosts, the power of Israel, put your burnt offerings unto your sacrifices, and eat flesh. For I spake not unto your fathers, nor commanded them in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt concerning burnt offerings and sacrifices.
Hold on. So Jeremiah got to say, like, he got the Most High saying, "Thus said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the power of Israel, saying, yeah, you put your burnt offerings unto your sacrifice, and eat the flesh. For I spake not unto your fathers, nor commanded them in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt concerning burnt offerings. Like, I ain't speak those things to y'all. I haven't spoke those things to y'all. So y'all doing these things, but I never really spoke those things to y'all." Verse 23.
But this thing commanded I them, saying, obey my voice and I will be your power, or I will be your God, and ye shall be my people, and walk ye in all the ways that I have commanded you, that it may be well with unto you.
So he said, this what I told you to do. I told you to obey my voice. Okay, that I'm your power, I'm your God. You should be my people and walk in my ways. And these which commandments? Those commandments that he gave Moses. Those are the first commandments, the real commandments. These second legislations that came out of nowhere, this second law dealing with a whole thing of sacrifices and all that, eventually we're going to get to the bottom of the information of where this actually stemmed from. But to understand the whole thing, it actually stemmed from Egypt. It stemmed from something that the other nations was doing. We never really was doing that. But to come to it, the most I tell you, y'all do what I command. This what y'all supposed to do. Just obey my voice. This what y'all supposed to do. That thundering and lightning y'all heard giving Moses those 10 commandments. Y'all supposed to obey that. Obey that. But because the stiff neck of our people, some other laws came into existence. A whole thing of laws. The Most High, he didn't want us to eat flesh. He's letting you know, you put your burnt offering unto your sacrifices and eat flesh. That ain't nothing I told y'all to do. Keep going though, bro. Verse 20, 24.
24. But they hearkened not, nor inclined their ear, but walked in the counsels and in the imagination of their evil hearts, and went backward and not forward. Since the day that your fathers came forth out of the land of Egypt unto this day, I have even sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, daily rising up early and sending them.
So he's sending prophets. He's sending prophets to him, telling them stop sacrificing. Everybody, you can go into the majority of the prophets, if not all of them, and they would tell you that the Most High require mercy, or he don't require sacrifice. They said in their own way, but it's all being said like that. He doesn't really require sacrifice. He rather have you come with a contrite heart and prayer. He don't require sacrifices. He never did require sacrifices. But yet we did. We walked in our own counsels and our own imaginations of our own evil heart and went backward and not forward. We went backward. We went back into the idolatry of Egypt. We went back into that. We went back into making the golden calf. We went back into that. We went back into sacrifices that they was doing in Egypt. We went back to that. And then verse 26, bro.
Yet they hearkened not unto me, nor inclined their ear, but hardened their neck. They did worse than their fathers.
They did worse, even did worse than the fathers in the wilderness. Did worse. We got into the land still doing sacrifices, not understanding that sacrifices was never instituted. We get into captivity after captivity. The recognitions of Clement on the Acts of the Nazarenes tell you it's because of sacrifice. Right? The whole Jewish understanding, the whole Jewish Christian understanding is then we in the situations we in because of sacrifices. Okay. Now, but that's pretty much that's it on that. But you have a whole group of Jews not doing sacrifices, whether you call them Nazarenes, Essenes, Osenes, whatever they try, Ebionites, you have a whole set of Jews who is not doing sacrifices, especially in the first century. So we just have to really understand what's going on here. But the prophet Jeremiah, he's saying something that's being looked over. It's being looked over very, very, very much. But that's it. Any comments? Anything, Anayan?
Not too much. I would just say good lesson, bro. And also what's interesting is that people need to do research on why is it that the sets of the Jews that Christ associated with, was born, born into, their creed? Why is it that these are the sets of Jews that is known to not have dealt with sacrifice and known not to have eaten any type of animal flesh? So that's just something worth looking into. Also, one thing that's interesting is, once again, going back to the situation with Christ flipping over the changes of the money tables and calling it a house of merchandise and saying that they turned it into a house or a den of thieves, right? Talking about the Most High's temple. What we have to understand is that the reason why Christ called the house of the Most High a house of merchandise or a den of thieves is because the things that was being sold for the purpose of sacrifices to the common people by the priests and by the scribes, these were things that was not sufficient for your sins to be forgiven. It never was and it never will be. We talking about, once again, in regards to the sacrifices. Although we can find sacrifices all through the Old Testament, we even find sacrifices in the New Testament. People have lied, people have done redactions, and the plot against destroying the Bible or destroying the Most High's word is a lot bigger than what we think. Satan is a worthy adversary, so make sure that y'all do y'all research before y'all just say this is too big of a conspiracy to be true. That's it.
Nah, praises, bro. That's not right on. That's definitely real. So yeah, man, we'll come back with some more information. Y'all do y'all due diligence, do y'all studies, and we'll keep on bringing the information that the Most High is allowing us to bring. Shalom.